Hello everyone, how are you doing? Okay, we are on week number 25. It is from 15th of June to 19th of June. Okay, let's take a look what we have for this week. All right, so as you can see from the screen, we have quite a lot of item coming up this week, right? We have, of course, British pound item coming up, and we are having a Powell will be speaking again. Okay, and of course we have a JPY as well here, and I also want you to take note of this thing. Where is it now? Okay, this guy. All right, on Thursday we have a CHF SMB press conference item will be coming up. Okay, there's a reason why I say that you need to be careful, because I'm sure you remember what happened in 2015, right? It's something really big happened in 2015. Most of the time, this kind of SMB items are normally, doesn't have a big impact on the market, but something really happened in 2015. So please be very careful as well, because we never know, right? And we will be having a British pound item, right? And again, of course, we'll be having a CAD item as well. So basically, put it this way, for the remaining of this week, the whole week of this week, right? It's going to be very volatile one, in my opinion, except from today. So this week, there's a lot of money can be made. And if you're not careful, of course, there's a lot of money can be lost as well. So please be very, very careful. So let's go through the analysis together. All right. So we have a nice call on British pound bearishness over the last week, right? And you have a very nice sell down last week. And I'm expecting it will continue to do so eventually. Okay, market may be finding some kind of like a minor support at the moment, but eventually they should go lower as well. Okay, so you can see they have a swing level around here, which is around 1.66 region. Right, this will be a region that you may want to interested in shorting it down again. So you can choose not to short it down immediately, but I'm expect the market will eventually go, even they go up higher to this level, but eventually where they find the resistance here, and they will they shall come down sooner or later. Of course, the ultimate support level is somewhere around 1.225 to 1.23 region. So I'm expecting it shall go eventually lower. Okay, let's take a look on the euro. Okay, let's take a look on the euro. Okay, euro also very similar as well. All right, I think euro is even worse than this British pound. Eventually, I am expecting the euro will go down a lot lower as well. Okay, if you look closely, euro they came around to this region, which is around 1.13 to 1.14. This 100 pip range is a very important range in my opinion. If the market ever come back up here, I think instead of buying up, I suggest that would be a level that you can look into shorting it down. Okay, because the market have already cleared out this rangy region. If they ever come back up here, to me it is just a retest. Okay, so I think it will eventually go lower as well. So of course the immediate support will be around 1.12, and of course the strong one or typical one will be somewhere around 1.112 level in my opinion. So eventually it should go lower eventually. All right, so far I'm expecting the US dollar will rise against across all the pairs. All right, let's take a look on the gold and silver. Okay, if you can see gold and silver, gold is basically now in the range region. So I would say it can continue as it is. So I am not expecting it to. I'm not buying or selling at the moment. To me, it's a bit more on the neutral tone at the moment. Okay, don't get me wrong on that. Gold is on the long run should be go a lot higher. They are about to sooner or later they should retest 1800 level. But it just said please be careful if you're buying now, because if you buy now and you don't put a proper stop loss, if you put the type stop loss instead, what happened? It can swing you out. You buy now, you put just anyone put a stop loss, market come and swing you out, you sell again, what happened? Market will go back up to take out your short again. So please be careful. I'm neutral at this moment. Okay, and pretty similar on silver as well. I think it is a little bit expensive at the moment. I think it's better for us to buy in around 16.8 level in my opinion. So I think it should eventually go back to this range, 16.8 region, before even if they want to bounce up from there. So it's stay expensive for me to buying at the moment. I will stand aside for a time being. So far, gold and silver is on the neutral mode. Okay, so not really that so excited. I mean, not so sort of like attractive for me to buy in, which is also quite similar in crude oil as well. Okay, we have a good call on the crude oil last week. We were expecting it will go to $32 level, and it really went to $32 level, right? And like gold, right? Just like gold, I'm expecting the market will eventually go higher eventually. But the thing is that maybe it is a little bit too expensive already at this moment. Okay, so I'm expecting it should at least do a minor pullback. I think at least it should go to somewhere around $20, $38, sorry, $28 to $30 region. So it is now a little bit expensive for me to, make a call on the buy side. So, let it come back down a little bit before you buy in again. All right. So same thing, neutral and slightly bearish at the moment. Not really so attractive to buy in at the moment. All right. So far I have done British pound, euro, and of course gold, silver, and oil price. So as you can see, the market is really pointing toward more or less toward the bullishness of the US dollar. So US dollar is going nowhere, guys. They are not going to crash. Okay, we will talk about it later. Okay, now another one is the Dow Jones. All right. We also have a nice call on Dow Jones about its bearishness over the last week, right? So as you can see, the market really have a nice sell down, and it is already at the kind of like a support region already. So it may be a little bit late for you to short it down, but I am still expecting it will eventually go lower first. I repeat, it will eventually go lower first. I think they should go back to retest this rangy region of 25K level. 25K region in my opinion. So it is definitely not a buy at the moment. All right, definitely not a buy at the moment. So you can ask me, Joe, will it go back down and they will break lower or not? Break lower, of course, this thing is a little bit unlikely. For that, we can talk later. But for immediate term, I'm expecting they will go back lower first. At least let's talk about 25K first. Okay, so I'm expecting Dow Jones to go a little bit lower furthermore. Okay, so if you're thinking of buying in, please think twice. Okay, so it come to the end of our analysis. Okay, let's talk about the idea of the week. Okay, this week I would like to talk about US dollar, the status of the US dollars. Okay, a lot of people have been saying, all right, you can see that they have been saying like US dollar will crash lah, this is worthless money. Actually, these kind of people, they have been saying it for the past 10 years or so, right? They have been talking the same thing for past, and then what really happened? US dollar crash or not? It didn't, right? So there must be something wrong, or those analysis might miss out some information that they didn't consider when they are talking that US dollar will crash. Okay, so let me do some fill in the blank here. All right, so okay, before I point out what they are missing on, I will point out what they are basing on first. Okay, as you can see, okay, so they are all this while they are talking about the US dollar crash because of the huge supply of the US dollar market make it possible by the US government, right? Or Fed rather, right? So it's true, there is a lot of supply coming into the market. I mean, you can just bluntly put money printing, right? It's money printing, right? There's a reason why this particular currency will drop. So it apply in every other currency. Okay, you see what happened to Zimbabwe, right? You see what happened to Zimbabwe. Okay, you see what happened to Zimbabwe previously? All right, they have like, now they have a 1 billion notes as well, right? Or I don't know, they may have trillion by now. You see what happened to Colombia, right? So it's true. If you print too much money into the system, of course, your currency will devalue. But the problem is that United States is not Zimbabwe. United States is not Colombia. All right, so what happened? Okay, if you look at it here, okay, I will give you a three-point argument why the US dollar is not going to crash, or even instead they are going to climb higher. All right. So number 1 point. So look at the inflation deflation. Look at what the market is doing right now. Market, does it look like we are in the inflation market to you? We are inflation at the moment. You see the market here, they are not they are not in the inflationary circle. You can see that they are indeed they are going back down. So any supply in this case or any money printing is somehow offset by the deflationary pressure. So that's the reason why we are not seeing the major devaluation in the market itself. Okay, so this is number one. That's the reason why you are not seeing the crash on the US dollars. Okay, that's number one. Okay, don't worry, I still got a few more to argue on. Okay, number two. These people, all right, those analysis talking about the US dollar crash is based on their supply, which is very true, right? They say the market having printing so much, the US government having printing so much. Yes, supply, yes. But what they didn't consider is they didn't look at from the demand side, right? You put it this way, the market go up, the printing go up, or supply go up. If the demand is also go up, what's the point here, right? If only when the supply go up, then demand go down, then okay, there's a problem, right? This is something that you can, it's a simple supply and demand analogy. You see, US dollar is basically put it this way, global currency. Okay, not only the US people that use the US dollars, everybody else use the US dollars. Okay, if you buy, let's say you buy iPhone, right? You buy iPhone in what? Singapore dollars. You buy iPhone in Myanmar Kyat. You buy iPhone in your base currency. But eventually, this iPhone purchase, you have to buy from the Apple, right? Okay. Eventually, the iPhone purchase have to come from Apple. We most likely your seller or your dealer have to pay for that iPhone price in US dollars. So even though you are purchasing in your currency and your home currency, you are participating on the US dollar demand. US dollar demand is there. You got what I mean? So people are still using US dollars, right? So yes, you talk from the supply, it go and crash, but in terms of demand side, the market is, the supply is there. The demand is there as well, correct? So that's the reason why US dollar is not going down. So point number two. Okay, point number three. Okay, so people say US dollar will crash or US dollar will go down lower. My question to you is that against what? Against what? You see, if you're a forex trader, you're buying something and selling something, agree? Or you're selling something and buying back something, right? So against what? Against euro? I mean, you look at the euro, look at the economic condition of euro. Is better than US? Okay, and how about China? Is better than US as well? You know, they even can't deal the COVID-19 problem properly. They have a very big PR failure in the past, for the past decade. Just recently, they have a very big PR failures. They are supposedly poised to replace the dollar eventually, but you know, I think whatever happened recently, I think, you know, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Okay, and how about gold and silver? Okay, that it is a little bit legit question here. Then, okay, gold and silver is not really a sort of like an exchange mechanism. All right, not really robust, but of course, compared to US, they might do better eventually. All right, so just from this 3 points, let me summarize. Number first one is between the supply and deflation. All right, because of the deflation, even though there's a lot of supply, you know, they sort of like cancel each other out. So, you know, the US dollar won't crash. Number two, talk about supply and demand. All right, because of the US market is US dollar is still the global currency. There's no way, you know, that even though there's a lot of supply, there's a lot of demand out there as well. Okay, so there's a reason why US dollar is not going to crash anytime soon. Number three, talking about the sort of like competitors or replacement. There's no vital replacement for US dollar at the moment. So until I don't see any crash on the US dollar until US government itself, they come out with something alternative. All right, so that's the 3 reasons why I do not think the US dollar is not going to crash, and maybe even they might even going to rise higher. So have a great week, everyone, and thank you very much for watching.